We got engaged and married pretty quickly. Children came soon after. But when I look back, I didn't have much input on the wedding. I didn't get involved with who was invited, and my family was cast aside. I think they were the early signs of control in the relationship, but I just put that to one side because I thought that was normal and the right thing to do. I mean, that led to issues between my family and my wife, but I did whatever I did to keep her happy. Although, even then, it felt like I was doing the wrong thing at times. More and more, I was being portrayed as useless, and she'd even told the children not to engage with me and not to listen. Over time, all those little moments damaged my self-esteem. I mean, I never felt I was good enough to be an equal in the relationship. My wife would manipulate things just to make me look bad in front of the children. I mean, she smashed my laptop, she asked me to leave several times, she told the children repeatedly that I was useless. But I wanted them to know that I wasn't the person that their mother was making me out to be. I'd sneak a minute here and there with my son. He used to like playing a game on my phone, but the hardest part of it all was I'd wake them up during the night when my wife was asleep, just to tell them that I loved them. At the time, I felt like I had no one to talk to. My wife was very controlling, and I guess I was scared to talk to someone in case there were repercussions from that. But eventually, in time, I did talk to someone, and I had confidence who I would speak with. I mean, all that increased my strength and confidence. I was trying to be the best father and husband that I could be, but I certainly pushed the boundaries. I mean, what I mean by that is whenever I tried to speak to my children, it would always have a negative reaction from their mother. That would always put us all in trouble. Most of the time, I'd just try and remain quiet and just to have a less of an impact on the children. I wanted the children to know that I loved them, but ironically, that was the contribution that made the situation worse. I needed them to know, but it would just lead to more and more hostility. It was really the last 2 years that were the most difficult. I suddenly had the realization that it wasn't my fault, so I would tell the children how I felt about them, but I saw that they began to lie to me to just protect themselves from the repercussions from their mother every time I tried to speak to them, and it just got harder. The entire relationship and environment was toxic, and for everyone, but in particular the children. I didn't get married to get divorced, and I didn't become a father to be a deserter and walk away. That's not me. It was a massive decision to go through with divorce, but I still believe that was the right thing to do. It was the only way I could get rightful contact with my children. The children weren't allowed to see me on my own. Contact had to be with their mother, and that just made things difficult. Eventually, my children didn't want to see me anymore because of how awkward they felt during the contact sessions. I remember I went to a sports day just to fit in and just be normal like all the other dads, but it just proved to be difficult. It just made things worse. It just made it more stressful for the children. I mean, they were torn. They were torn between both their parents. I mean, how am I meant to engage when it made them feel worse? I went through all the different courts, the procedures, the contact orders, but none of them worked. Over the years, I've been able to keep in contact with my children through school reports. I wrote to them, I sent birthday presents, Christmas presents. I even sent money over to their accounts, but over the time, I've maybe only seen them face to face for a few hours. I don't even know if they've actually received the gifts that I've sent them. The divorce and contact didn't go my way either, but I still believe it was the right decision to make. I just hope my children don't develop a warped sense of family, and in terms of dads being someone that just worked and shouldn't be part of their life. I just hope they don't take that into future relationships. I mean, right now, I have hope. Hope that when my children are older that I can develop that relationship with them that I never had. I do have optimism. You've got to keep looking forward, right, and not looking back. One thing that I've learned is not to give up. Never give up. And if you can, speak to someone and reach out.